This is all I got.
UFC Fight Night Cannonier versus Strickland takes place Sunday for me, Saturday in the US. It's a pretty good card. I'm actually pretty excited for this card. There's a lot of good fights. I was looking over it today when I was thinking about my picks, and it's a pretty good fight card. I'm really excited for it. Main event, Cannonier versus Strickland. Tsarukyan versus Ismagulov is the co-main. You got Amir Albazi on the card. This will be a fucking crazy fight at featherweight, Rosa and Caceres. Drew Dober, Bobby Green. That's going to be an amazing fight. This fight exists. Don't give a fuck. Yeah, this will be alright. This will be alright fight. Be good. Jake Matthews is on the card. That's always good. Deron Win. I like Deron Win. Julian Marquez. Some really, really high level fights I think taking place in this card. Brian Battle coming back against a really tough guy. Manel Cap, great fight. I'm excited about this card, boys. I'm gonna drop my picks today. My last prediction video, I think I went like 10-2. I made good picks and I exposed MMA gurus so bad, bro. I literally said Kevin Holland's gonna just let Wonder Boy beat him. He's just gonna play his game, and that's exactly what happened. It was a great fight, and I was right. So I told you I'm good at picking fights. Doubt me now, How do you like me now, lad? Yeah, so let's start off in the bantamweight division. We got Sergey Morozov versus Journey Newson. I gotta be straight up with you. I don't give a fuck about this fight, okay? I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm gonna pick Sergey Morozov to win this fight. I've seen Journey Newson fight a couple times, and I've only seen him get chinned. So I'm gonna pick Sergey Morozov. I've heard of him before. I think he's a better fighter, but not really invested in these fights. That's usually when I make my best pick. So I'm going to go Sergey Morozov by TKO or submission. I think he's going to finish Journey Newson. I don't know. Flyweight. David Dvorak, Manel Kape. I really like Manel Kape. He's a very explosive, very exciting fighter. He wants to be a big deal in the flyweight division. I think he has all the potential too. I know Dvorak's pretty good. But I like Manel Kape. I really do. I really like him. I think he's figured out how he's gonna fight in the UFC. He's found his stride a bit. I know knocking out Ode Osborne isn't as just had a fucking stroke. Isn't as impressive as it was when he first did it. But I mean, everybody's got to do it the first time. Something has to be done. I think he's a very explosive fighter. I know Dvorak's a good striker, and Manel Kape is also a striker predominantly. But I don't know. I can just see Manel Kape being explosive and just making something happen, and I'm going to pick Manel Kape. I'm going to say by decision because he's fought the best guys in the division already. He fought Pantoja. Close fight. Didn't go his way. I think he fought someone else that was top high up in the division when he came to the UFC. He lost those two, and then he's picked it back up. So I trust Manel Kape. I'm going to pick him to win this fight. Moving on. Welterweight. Brian Battle. Rinat Redinov. I gotta be honest, I've never seen this dude fight before. I probably have, but it's not coming back to my mind. I've seen Brian Battle fight. This dude just seems, his record is really standing out to me. 19-1. I need to see his show dog. I need to see if this is legit. Okay? I'm almost about to pick this guy just off his record. That's how casual I am with this guy. And that's weird for me because I love the welterweight. I know most welterweights, right? I've never heard of this dude. I don't know if it's like his UFC debut or something. But I don't think it is because he was meant to fight Michael Morales, who's also really good. And they should have done Morales and Brian Battle. That would have been a fucking crazy fight. Anyways, the short notice of it makes me think that this guy's going to win. He's going to beat Brian Battle. I'm sure he's going to be an underdog probably, but who knows? Again, I don't really know this dude, bro. I'm going to be straight up. This should be a fun fight. I'm going to pick this dude to beat Brian Battle. Fuck it. Fuck it, bro. Around here, I make decisions. Moving on, lightweight. Rafa Garcia, Hayasur Mahesheti, whatever his name is. Another dude that I really don't know. He's a young guy. He has a reach advantage. He's a tall dude. He's about 6 foot. Rafa Garcia is a smaller lightweight. I want to pick Rafa Garcia. I do, or Rafa Garcia, however you say it. I want to pick him. I I'm going to pick Rafa Garcia. Fuck it. Rafa Garcia by decision. 29-28. Lock it in. I don't care. Moving on. Bantamweight. Saeed Nurmagomedov is going to win this fight. I don't care, bro. This guy's high level, man. This guy's really high level, man. I know Kakramanov is good as well. They're both younger guys. 30. 27. But, man, Nurmagomedov is good, bro. Like, anyone whose last name's Nurmagomedov, except for his cousin. Not his cousin, the, the guy. You know the one that has, like, 3 losses. He's not that good. That's comparative to Khabib. Like, he's still good, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm fucking saying. Just fuck off. Anyways, next fight. Julian Marquez, Deron Winn. I like Deron Winn. I really do. I'm a DC fanboy. I love DC. But this guy's not a middleweight, man. You should be fighting at welterweight, bro. You should borderline be fighting at lightweight. Like, look at this height discrepancy, man. Julian Marquez is like 6'2", 6'3", and Deron Winn's like 5'8". Okay? This is just not the division for Deron Winn, and I'm really worried about him in this fight. I think Julian Marquez is going to win this fight, and it's going to be it's going to be a submission for Julian Marquez. Julian Marquez doesn't stand out in any one area to me, but he's just physically big. He's a big middleweight. He's a thick dude. He's aggressive. He listens to his coaches, and in the middleweight division, that gets you pretty far. I think just being able to listen to your coaches and being big. Like, it's not really a skill thing. Like, skill for skill, Deron Winn should be able to out-wrestle this dude, out-grapple him, but I just see him doing well, getting rocked on the feet, and ending up in a guillotine or in a scramble and getting submitted. And I think Deron Winn should be fighting at welterweight. I really do. I don't think this is a good fight for him. I knew he was fighting on this card. I didn't know he was fighting Marquez. I was going to pick him if it was someone that was terrible, but Marquez is floating around that outside the rankings, like just fought Gregory Rodriguez, got absolutely fucking smoked. But he's beat some decent guys at middleweight. He's not terrible at middleweight, and Deron Winn has barely hung on to being in the UFC at this middleweight division. And you can't be having close fights with like Antonio Hoyo and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Losing, I guess GM3 the loss isn't that bad, but Phil Hawes. I mean, if you don't have power, then Phil Hawes wins, but if you have any power, Phil Hawes loses. So the fact that he completely smoked Deron Winn just shows me his level, and I just think it's the size of the division. I think Deron Winn has the capability to be good. He's an older guy, but I still think he has like a DC type build, but just middleweight's not for you, bro. So yeah, that's my rant. Julian Marquez by submission. Round 1, round 2. Moving on, welterweight, Jake Matthews Semmelsberger. Semi the Jedi. He's a good dude. He's a good fighter. Got a lot of power, but Jake Matthews looks fucking insane at the moment. I was thinking of putting this dude again. If I had to matchmake this dude, I'd be thinking, Matthews versus Jing Liang, Matthews versus Salikov, like versus Ponzinibbio, and they've given him Semi the Jedi, so I think Jake Matthews wins this. I'm going to say by TKO, round 2 or 3. Or maybe a decision, but I'm going to say Jake Matthews looked so fucking good in his last fight against Fialho, who's beaten like guys around the level of Semmelsberger, I think. And if you're losing to Alex Morono, dude, Jake Matthews is another level, I think. So I'm going to pick Jake Matthews to win this fight. He looks really good. I hope he doesn't let me down because I really like this dude. I think he has a lot of promise at welterweight. The way he looked in his last fight, man, if he keeps fighting like that, god damn, reminds me of a young me. Anyways, moving on. Strawweight bout, Cheyenne Velismus, actually. Cheyenne Delidze versus Corey McKenna. Almost just out of loyalty to JP Byers for what he's been through, I'm just going to pick Corey McKenna. I think Cheyenne Byers is probably going to win. I'm going to be straight up. But I'm just going to pick Corey McKenna. I don't give a fuck. I hope she wins. You know what I'm saying? But I think Cheyenne Byers will probably win a decision. But just remember, I want Corey McKenna to win. So let's hope, boys. But I think Cheyenne Byers wins. So that's my final predictions. Cheyenne Byers, Jake Matthews, Marquez, Nurmagomedov, Rafa Garcia, Retinov, Manel Kape, and Morozov. Lock those in, boys. We move on to the main card. Okay. Let's scroll down. What do we got? Cody Brundage versus Michael Olejniczak. Um, Olejniczak just beat Sam Alvey, the GOAT, so I think he's going to win. I didn't know he was 27. Jesus Christ. He's been around the middleweight, light heavyweight kind of rankings for division for ages, man. Like, he's been fighting in the UFC for ages. He fights very often. He hasn't lost that much. Like, I know he lost a couple times, but he seems to have found form at middleweight. He looked really quick in his last fight. I know he's fighting Sam fucking Alvey, but, still. Cody Brundage, not the highest level opponent. I think when you get to those guys that are super, like, those guys that you're like, these are scary guys, that's where Olejniczak kind of struggles, And I know he's a bit soft to the body, but I think he's improving. He's 27. I didn't know that, so that's good for him. I'm going to pick Olejniczak by decision, or maybe KO. Not super confident, but I'm just going to lean towards Olejniczak. Moving on, Drew Dober, Bobby Green. This is a great fight. This is amazing. I can't believe these guys haven't fought before. I like Drew Dober. I really do. He's a good fighter. He's really exciting. He's a fun guy to have. He's like less skilled Michael Chandler. Like, I think he is what people thought Michael Chandler was going to be in the UFC before he beat Dan Hooker. And kind of how Michael Chandler fights sometimes. But Drew Dober's pretty good. Beat Rafael Alves. That's a good win for him. He's beat Terrence McKinney. That's going to look really good, I think, in a couple of years. But I'm going to pick Bobby Green. Bobby Green looks fucking good. Bobby Green is a good fucking fighter, dude. I think he's really, really, like, on the cusp of, like, that top 15 in his current form. I know he's 36, but fuck, man. Like, and I know he lost to Makhachev, and, not that bad. Bobby Green looked really good against Rafael Fiziev, and the fact that Fiziev just performed so well against RDA, and he's smoked Moicano, which is looking better and better every day. And all these guys, and Bobby Green really fought well against him, and was a very close fight. I think some people gave it to Bobby Green. I don't know about all that, but he fought really good. I'm gonna pick Bobby Green to beat Drew Dober by round 3 TKO or decision. I know picking Bobby Green by TKO crazy, but round 3 TKO decision. I'm gonna pick Bobby Green. Moving on to another crazy fight. Alex Caceres versus Julian Erosa. Julian Erosa is on a fucking streak right now, dude. But so is Alex Caceres. Alex Caceres is good, man. I think he's finding his stride, because I remember maybe like a year ago, his record was like 15-13. Like, he's finding his stride. He got in the UFC very young. Like, he already main evented. He fought really well against Yair Rodriguez. But Julian Erosa really has a lot of momentum, and finishing momentum too. It's not like, I know Alex Caceres kind of had that illegal knee situation and took advantage of that, and that fight wasn't really going his way. Julian Erosa is finishing dudes, and he's fighting like crazy well, and he just seems to have something happening to him right now. I look at that momentum, and I can't help but pick Julian Erosa, so I'm gonna pick Julian Erosa to finish Alex Caceres. Somehow, some way, he will get it done. I can just feel it, bro. Or maybe he won't, but I think Julian Erosa is going to win. So, Bobby Green, Julian Erosa, Olejniczak are my picks so far. Moving on, flyweight. Amir Albazi is going to win. This dude is next level, man. I think Amir Albazi was meant to fight Brandon Royval in his card. That shows you the level he's at. I don't know how you would have gone against Royval, because Royval's really good. I like Royval. He's a cool dude, man. But Albazi is quite high level, so I'm going to say Albazi will win this fight by submission. Maybe late in the fight. He does struggle a bit early on, and but he's just got that level of aggression and tenacity and skills, just natural given skills and physicality. And he's a young dude as well, 29. He's fighting guys at 26, but Albazi's really settling into the UFC is what I mean. Like, he's young in the UFC, but he's settled in. So I think Albazi's going to win. I think he's moving up the rankings. I could see him fighting like an Alex Perez, Kaikara France loser, if he doesn't get rebooked with Royval. Jesus Christ, sorry. Moving on to the co-main event. Arman Tsarukyan, not Armand Tsarukyan, fucking MMA guru. Tsarukyan versus Damir Ismagulov. This is a good fight, man. This is a really, really good fight, bro. I'm fucking excited about this shit, man. Damn, I'm hyped for this shit, man. Listen. This is a close fight. This is like a pick'em for me. This is really, really hard to pick. I really want Tsarukyan to win. I think he has so much potential in this division. He's 26 years old, dude. He's 26 years old, and he's like Islam Makhachev's toughest fight ever. Like, he's the key to lightweight, I think. This dude could beat Michael Chandler, man. This dude could give Dariush some problems. You know what I'm saying? This guy is a elite level lightweight. He's the future of this division. Damir Ismagulov is really, really good. Like, he's really, like, really good. Um, this might be crazy. This might look really bad, but I'm gonna pick Ismagulov to win this fight. I don't know, man. I just got a feeling, bro. So I'm gonna pick Ismagulov to win this fight. I'm gonna pick Ismagulov, not by submission, but I will say by decision. I think he'll just get going earlier, and I think Damir Ismagulov is gonna move up in the division, and Tsarukyan is gonna need this one more loss to really get his shit together, and you know, I think in the next 2 years, Arman Tsarukyan will be at the top of the division, but I think right now Ismagulov, it's his time, bro. He's gonna win this fight. He's looked crazy in his last few fights. He's really, really high level, and I could see him winning this fight and then getting finally someone in the top 5, top 6, top 7, and just showing the age of exciting white guys fighting each other is over. It's time for like foreign names to take over this fucking lightweight division, bro. Like, the days of Gaethje versus fucking Poirier and Gaethje versus Chandler and, you know what I mean, Eddie Alvarez versus everybody. Those days are done, man. I think Ismagulov is the future, and Tsarukyan is as well. And these guys are going to take over the rankings, and I think that starts with Ismagulov beating Tsarukyan, getting the jump on the kind of young guy who's still figuring out some stuff in his career, I think. So Ismagulov by decision is my pick. Finally, we move on to the main event. Jared Cannonier versus Sean Strickland. Jared Cannonier is old, man, but he still looks really sharp. He still looks really really good, really powerful. He looked terrible against Adesanya at moments, but at the same time, it is Adesanya, so I do understand. But didn't really get outclassed, but just looked. His fight IQ, I guess, is what really stood out to me in that fight. Is just he's good at finding easy stuff in a fight, like a Jack Hermanson takedown. You know, hitting an uppercut on that. No shit, you know, like. He finds really simple stuff, and he's very technical to start off, and he's very powerful, and he looked really good when he fought Kelvin Gastelum, but, you know, at this point, kind of, you know, welcome to the club. Like, Kelvin Gastelum lost to Darren Till, dude, you know, lost to Darren Till, bro. Like, that's looking worse and worse, man. Like, I just don't think Kelvin Gastelum is that big of a win, you know. Lost to Whitaker. But I think his weakness is that technical, fast twitch, like, mental kind of, I don't know how to explain it. Those guys that can just freeze your game up. If they're just pushing, Jared Cannonier is able to go slip, boom, or block, boom, and he can kind of push through that adversity and find his power, find his counter shots, find the right, like, movement to kind of catch the fight and take it his way. You know, Kelvin Gastelum, pressure. His bobbing and weaving, boom, caught him with a perfect left hook, sat him down. Whole fight was just chopping the leg kicks. Every time Gastelum came in, it was the same thing. Boom, found that punch, found his hooks, you know, found his clinch, you know. Same with Hermanson. Takedowns. Okay, here comes a takedown, boom, uppercut, fight's over. You know what I'm saying? Sean Strickland, I think, is going to come pressure, jab, slip, hook, you know. Not going to kick that much. Maybe some teeps, some front kicks. I can just see Jared Cannonier pulling him into a huge punch and kind of cracking Sean Strickland's chin again. I think Sean Strickland will start off good because he's a quick start in terms of his aggression. Not necessarily his power or his ability to drop people. I think he's a quick start in terms of getting his jab going, you know, being willing to exchange very early, not like feeling you out as much. You know, you look back at the Brendan Allen fight, you know, the Jack Hermanson fight. He's able to just come out and go, all right, we're sparring, you know what I mean? But he just doesn't have the power to really freeze up Cannonier, and he doesn't have the feints to really freeze him up. I think that's the two things that you need if you want to beat Jared Cannonier. You need power and or slash, you know, feints. You know, if you have a feints heavy game, like Alex Pereira would do damage to Cannonier, I think. Like, Cannonier, like, would struggle with like Pereira, Whitaker, Adesanya. I think those three guys, he will never touch the belt if those three guys are still floating around the belt. Sean Strickland, I think he has a pretty good chance. I'm going to pick Jared Cannonier by knockout. Round 2. Round 1 or round 2, I think. I like Strickland, man. I just think that this kind of fighter is his weakness, man. Like a technical, powerful guy who can counter-strike pretty well, who can figure you out pretty well if you're just pushing one thing over and over and over again. So I'm going to say Jared Cannonier will win by round 2 knockout. Lock those picks in, boys. I got a good feeling about this card. It's going to be good. I'll see you in the next video. Let me know your picks down below. Let me know any video ideas you want to see down below. I'll see you in the next one, boys. Goodbye.